The first article is about the sustainability, how the businesses are having an issue about the sustainability and how to overcome that. When we say sustainability is maintaining the same level, but with sustainability and growth, we can say that they are thinking about maintaining the level plus heading in the, are increasing their market share in their area of product and services. Now, let me give some background before that. And these all the papers or presentations are the part of my bigger project, and which I'm having a discussion with the different groups to get the input on them. And I will appreciate if you can provide also some input so that I'll be able to come out with some basic framework which can meet the requirement of the new era in which we are. And that era is the digital era. So when I say digital era, then let us go back to the other era. We started with the agriculture or agrarian era, then we got the industrial era, then we got the communication era, and now we are in the digital era. And in the past, whatever models were there, those models were matured, but in digital era, the models are still in the fluid stage, and the businesses or the corporations or the economy is looking for some concrete model. And these attempts, the attempt of my project is, or our project is, to have an initial framework which can evolve further to come out with some concrete layout or some concrete framework which can help in the different areas. And when we say businesses, it is starting with a strategic vision, then the corporations are employers, and then it is having the, it triggers the different activities at the educational level or at the higher education or the high school level. So all these things are interrelated. So this, we are talking about sustainability, which is dominated by AI and machine learning, which is a important ingredient of the digital era. And as we have discussed that in the abstract, it is in the digital era, it will be a continuous transformation, digital transformation we are talking about. And when we say digital transformation, it is a journey, not a destination. Digitization and digital transformation will continue forever. Like in industrial era, something continued forever, then we are switching over from industrial to communication and communication to digital. So, and when we talk about transformation, every new changes enabled by IT will cause or will affect the existing processes, structure, and the people skills required to deliver the product and services to the customers. So currency is required to be maintained for sustainability. And one challenge for organization is to position themselves in a way so that they can cope up with the pace of change in technology. And when we say pace of change, it is changing at an exponential rate, not a linear, but exponential rate. And how to cope up with those pace of changes. And again, organizational capability in adopting technology may have some upper bound and lower bound, and how they play around with that and how they move forward so that they can sustain in the business. So the focus of this study is only to develop the initial framework, because right now, all the different models, business models are in the fluid stage to cater the requirement of the digital era. And as we know, during the last year, when the AI and ML capabilities or artificial intelligence with the chat, GPT and other things was launched, it has shaken up the entire industries, employers, businesses, as well as the academic institutions. How to cope up and jump to get to cater this requirement so that our graduates can meet or can be reskilled to meet the growing, changing requirement of the environment. And as we know that so far, we were exposed to a classical computing. We are using all the computing devices based on the classical computing model. And now we are in the next decade or less, we are going to shift to the quantum computing. And this quantum computing will be a paradigm shift. And in classical computing, more or less, the execution of instructions are sequential. However, in the quantum computing, it works in parallel. So two instructions can be executed simultaneously like a human brain works. And third thing is, a human brain is capable to do a lot of things simultaneously, but its memory is limited to 5 to 9 variables it can store at a time, or it can process at a time. So that's why there is a dependencies on the computing devices, because they have the phenomenal power to process multiple variables with a higher speed. So with the short-term memory, with 5 to 9 variables, it is a limitation. So that's why in this current era, we are talking about a collective wisdom, teamwork, and as well as with the assistance of a virtual member of the team, which is the computing devices with AI, ML, or knowledge management capabilities. ML, machine learning, was earlier known as knowledge management. So with that background, let us discuss further and see where we are and how we can proceed further. So this part of the paper is divided into number of parts. First, we'll talk about what is the role of AI and ML, and what they mean by emerging technologies, and how the innovations are diffused, and what is the role and capabilities of AI ML, and what is the predictions for future, based on which how to identify the sustainability, how to maintain the sustainability with identifying the physical range in which the organizations or different different businesses can play around to maintain their level. And then what are the challenges in the innovative technologies adoptions, and what are the uncertainties are there. So this is the first part of paper, which calls about adoption, innovations, its effect, and why it is essential. So the challenges are managing the ET, that is emerging technologies. A new innovation comes under the parameter or comes under the purview of the emerging technologies, and it is evolving continuously. So its effect or the challenges are multidimensional and not limited to IT itself. As per the majority of business executives, technology can transform their businesses, but they continue to be frustrated by the slow pace of change. See, alignment of the pace of change with the available or new innovations, pace of new innovations is becoming difficult or unmanageable. And also, one thing is the slow pace of change, and another is the getting the result quickly. Both the issues are creating a lot of nightmare for the executives, business executives. And it is not new. The pace of change for organization has increased considerably in the last few years. You can call it is increasing it is changing at an exponential rate during the last 10 years. If you just see the trends, it is expediting, and it is changing at an exponential rate. Companies in general are under increased pressure to find and develop innovative technology solution to outpace the competition. So the need is to move faster and faster. And again, for different type of industry and of various sizes, having their location differently at different geographic locations will cause them or will motivate them to follow the different strategies. So that's why we call it no one size fits all approach, and how to meet those challenges depending on the local environment or local conditions more. So factors for facilitating the need of changes and the pace of change, such as market aggressiveness of the firm, industry involved, risk and regulatory issues, corporate philosophy, and demography and other issues. The business need to decide about their firm to manage emerging technology based on their vision, where they want to go, and then from there they will start and they will proceed further. At the leading edge, whether they want to be a prime mover or they want to be a follower, or they will be in the middle of the stack. Within the organization also, the things varies between functions to functions. And this study addresses the innovative technology solutions pertaining to AI/ML with the focus to deploy an initial framework for identifying a feasible range of change in various parameters over time. So when we say that innovation, diffusion, or adoptions, there will be innovators, few percentage, for adopting the new or the innovative technology initially is highly risky, and only few organizations who can sustain those risks can opt for it. Now, before I proceed further, let me explain one thing. You see, in early 80s, 1980s, early 80s, we got the first microcomputer, and that microcomputer was launched by Radio Shack, and it took about, for IBM, they were not very clear that whether they should step in that business or not. So they waited for 2 years or 3 years before they launched the IBM PC. So that is what I want to say. Innovators, it is really a highly risky proposition for the people to jump in without having firm foundations. Even IBM was scared to go into that area in early 80s, beginning of the 80s. Then, after checking the market acceptance, the early adopters are there, early majorities are there, late majorities, and leaguers are there. So, role of AI/ML, processing the data information repeatedly, maintaining the same accuracy with the evolving trends of periodically improvement in the speed of in many folds. Speed as well as knowledge generations. Classical computing, which is the current era, versus quantum computing, which is futuristic paradigm shift in computing. Particularly, the classic computing is sequential in nature, while the quantum computing enables the parallel processing, like the human brain. Right now, there are two things can work simultaneously, but eventually it may have multiple states also. The quantum computing is in the infancy stage, but in a decade or less, has a potential for wider applications with phenomenal increase in processing speed, supports AI application at a broader length. Now, when we say decade or less, generally there are projections that within a decade, it will be having a wider applications. But based on the exponential rate of changes people are also, or the professionals are also debating whether the decade is the upper limit, or it can be done, or it will be available before that. And those possibilities are also always there. IT-enabled decision-making based on generative intelligence through automation tools for data analytics, including online analytical processing, data mining, neural network, text mining, and applications such as decision support system, expert system, executive information systems, and so on. Organization and type of decisions, how the different type of decisions are classified as per the levels. At the operational level, it is structured decisions, which is supported nicely by the quantitative models. Then technical level, it is semi-structured, which is quantitative as well as probabilistic model. Quality is mediocre, and quality at the operational level is very high because it is highly quantitative type of algorithm. And when we go to the strategic level, it is mostly unstructured, where quantitative and probabilistic models are being used, including fuzzy logics and other different logics are there, and neural network. However, the quality is limited to mediocre, but it is evolving. Based on the learning, when we call it machine learning, based on the learning, the probability weightage will change and it will improve further and further, but 100% in any case is not possible. Trends predicted for future. This high pressure environment is increasing in changing the need for a new outlook for a balance between work and home. All the employees are also, most of the workers or human resources are also having the problem of the mental fatigue, burnout, and also as well as they are having the issues of balancing the work and life, home life activities. So all the people or all the consumers are also looking for uses of the items or services which can help them to save the time and make their life simple. Companies must take an active role in helping their employees balance their work and life. Mental stresses are increasing day by day, and I think, Carno, it may be a good topic for you in medical area. Mental stresses among the students as well as among the employees and everywhere. Okay? Related problems affecting employees' moral and wellness will continue to thrive. Use of internet will continue to grow as the time to perform activity and shopping at physical stores decline. So we are having a hybrid model. Most of the businesses are in the hybrid models, online as well as brick and mortar, but more and more consumers are heading for the online activities because of the reliable and secured services they are getting virtually. Personal robots appeared in the home, within the home, also at the lawns also. New technology provide number of new opportunity to create businesses and jobs, while automation will help in declining the cost of products and services, facilitate in reducing the price and improving profits. Downsizing, restructuring, reorganization, and outsourcing, including layoff, will be a new normal. Shortened cycle time of time to market for production services. Fierce competition based on new technology with time is, you see, there are different strategies so far conventionally followed for competitive advantage. One was the cost, is being used, a low cost option being used by the Walmart. Another is focus. Third is differentiation. The fourth one is time. So in digital era, it will play an important role. It's becoming one of the world's most precious commodity. time to resolve the issue, time to solve the problems, time to come out with the new product or upgraded product and services to meet the timely requirement of the consumers. All these things are there with prefix of time. US workers spend 10% more time on job compared to a decade ago. Again, relate this with the mental health problem. European executives and unionized workers also face the same trend. Now, sustainability and feasible health. Current digital era requires in ongoing manner the digital transformation. There is a saying to reflect this motion using the verbiage. Digital transformation is a journey, not a destination. During the transformation, an organization must upkeep its process, structure, people, and maintain its currency for sustainability. An organization's capability in adopting technology sets an upper bound on the level of technology it can benefit from. The organizational capability in adopting the change, continuous reskilling of human resources, and the culture of the organization must evolve as the capabilities in the technology evolves. The alignment adoptions is becoming a nightmare exercise, and the focus of this study is to develop an initial framework for identifying a feasible range of change in various parameters over time. The combination of availability of more data, computing power, analytical method, and AI widens the range. Okay, so let me go back a little bit and again tell you about this 3+5 categories of the different business group for adopting our diffusion of innovation, and based on which we are developing a feasibility or feasible range. So currency in ET's adoptions and maturity level, it moves. Suppose if you take it a straight line, then if you go to next, come on. Yeah. So different innovators can go up or down. This category of people can go up or down, and they are progressing slowly in this direction, up on the ladder. Who will be there up? Who can be down? We don't know. Depending on how they balance each and everything to cope up and get or reap the benefit of everything out of it. So if you go see here, they can go and these things can change and okay, see like this. It will move like this. Any questions so far? So now ET's adoptions is a gamble because most of the judgment may turn out to be right or may turn out to be a failure. So it's a gamble, and investing in them can frequently mean failure to deliver value, to be adopted, to be strategically significant. Not investing in them can mean falling behind. And then when they are falling behind, then all the things will be clubbed together, including they will be out of the business or losing market shares or failing to be the relevant to the customers, so on and so forth. Identify ETs, one of the ways. Observing the push technology, pull technology, and screening for decentralized technology. So let me explain push and pull. Push is new innovations are pushed or suggested by the different vendors as a marketing gimmick. And they, based on the convincing and based on the environmental factors, the executives can decide about whether to go that way or not. Pull is that different functional units may demand it, or maybe a demand of the customer, or maybe a regulatory demand. So it is pull, where there is no choice. And third is decentralized technology. As we know that initially the IT department was centralized within a silo. Then slowly, the parts of it were diverted to the end users. So IT professionals are there with the end users as well as they are centrally working with the IT department. However, now in this decentralized technology, it is also called shadow IT, that people, user group may not follow the standards and they may have, based on their preferences, to acquire some IT tools or IT capabilities, which may not interoperate with the existing infrastructure, but it is good for the innovative or creativity. So it is promoted for the sake of innovation and creativity. However, it may have some side effects, but it is continued further and it will continue further as far as we can perceive. There are various uncertainties. It is not possible to eliminate all the uncertainties. And with more items and people in ET and our collective wisdom, the greater chances of getting the right technology in the right place at the right time. There are types of uncertainties, market uncertainty, technological uncertainties, and economic uncertainties. And considering these uncertainties, one has to be very careful to make decisions for adoption of the different innovations or innovative technologies. So now the next one is the framework or the structure. And friends, that is almost, and I think we have another half an hour. So I will try to wrap up in the next 15 minutes the both the presentations, and where I will only focus on the significant parts. Okay.
Would you mind if I do the presentation now and you finish at last?
You want to take over?
If I take it, because I was worrying about the timing.
You see, I will complete everything in next 10 to 15 minutes. That much I
Okay,
can
sounds good. All right, sounds good.
Okay, so framework for the what type of new structure in the organizations we are looking for. Okay, for the to cater the requirement of the digital era. So when we say that from in this technological driven transformation, to maintain the competitive positions, firms are looking for its agility, adaptability, and alignment. And there will be change in people structure, and also it will involve the change in processes. So to manage this, the focus is on sustainability and growth with value addition and data-driven decision making, along with the customer-focused approach. So the objective of this is to develop a framework for organizational design to align all the three parameters to cater the requirement of digital era, which is dominated by AI and ML. So in industries, the statistical data are there. The manufacturing sectors are having 20% of the workforce and about 20% of the national GDP contributions. Automation, we are currently in industry 4.0 and heading for 5.0. Service sector, 80% of the workforce, contribution 80% in the national GDP, but automation is compared to manufacturing sector is limited level. The estimation indicate that 90% American management personnel are knowledge workers. Workforce skills, higher percentage of generalists and limited percentage of specialists are needed. High level of soft skill is needed, and decision making, contrary to decision based on silos, needed the resolution of issues problem with holistic approach, integrated perspective under the context. Uses of collective wisdom supported by virtual team member, AIML, and pace of resolution much faster compared to the earlier era. And if we consider the different theories for competitive advantage as per the resource-based view, the human resources are the least possible duplicable, and their intelligence can help organization to get sustainable longevity in the sustainability. The framework for the organization design here, sorry. Yes, sir. here entry-level employment with degree diploma. Now the basic issue is here the skill gap between whatever the graduates are coming out from the institutions and what is required by businesses. There is a big gap and it is widening more and more. So how to bridge that gap? So now when we consider the career path, the entry-level employment with from the different certification, degree, diploma, high school, and all those things, they can go to the operational level or they can go to the knowledge functions. And there is a crossover possible at every level, at every stage. And like this, if there will be a zigzag manner in the career path, will be followed by every individual depending on their passion, depending on their creativity, depending on their skill level, and other all those things. There is a possibility of good growth, and with the help of the human resources, there is a high possibility that the organizations will be able to get sustainable competitive advantage because their human resources are having a longer life or will have the longevity in providing the sustainable competitive advantage compared to the other resources which can be duplicated very fast. Yeah. Now, the third one is about the curriculum design. Now, how to bridge the skill gap? So then our focus is on the curriculum design. And when we talk about that, universities are engaged in continuously updating their curriculum to keep up with the changing need of the companies driven by rapid advances in technology. Creates several challenges. First, it is not possible for a formal curriculum committee to revise the curriculum frequently. And even if it is done, it can make the system nervous and defeat the purpose of curriculum design. Second, the rapid changes in the business world, there is always a big gap between what a committee could recommend and the need perceived by the professor who is teaching the concerned class, and another big gap between the committee's recommendation and available teaching material in the textbook form. And the journal. Third, a student advances from freshman level to the sophomore to junior to senior. What they learn before can become progressively obsolete. The appropriate response to this challenge about adopt a framework of supply chain. The literature describes the vital attributes of effective supply chain: agility, adaptability, and alignment, and suggests that one should exercise responsiveness and resilience. Professor can use a variety of tools and mechanisms to incorporate these attributes progressively in supply chain and delivery of knowledge, including following: experiential learning exercise and projects, extracurricular options, seminar, community services through service learning projects, and case studies. Okay, now, so there are different frameworks are there. Curriculum update, periodical, continuous updating, keep up changing needs of company, and it is difficult to keep up because of the challenges of rapid advances in technology. The existing process have shortcomings. It is not possible a formal curriculum committee to revise the curriculum frequently, and if it is done, it can make system nervous. Then precedence, the framework of supply chain is this. Tools or mechanisms, we have the different tools are there, and how to make the curriculum, even though whatever the students are learning in the freshman year, if they go to the junior or senior, how to bridge the gap between whatever became obsolete over the period of time during their journey of the 4 years college. So, learning from manufacturing sector and application software development methodology, a modular plug and play approach. In manufacturing, modular approach focus on reusability and interoperability, leading to standardization of various subunits components. Higher level of automation, Industry 4 and heading to 5, for mass production to mass customization to personalization. Application software development methodology, modular approach, reusability, interoperability, procedures and functions. Then we got the object-oriented approach. Then we got the software libraries, routines, application program interfaces, automation tools for software development, tools and packages such as computer assisted case tools. And also now we have the packages along with AI ChatGPT capabilities to develop the code at a faster. API capability could be expanded with the help of figure 2. So how this API application program, these platforms can help them to continuously innovate and provide a standard solution for interoperability and integration. Trends predicted for future, a large organization in 2020 will have half or less manager level compared to the 1970 and 1/3 managers in numbers. Growing level of education needed for entry level and unskilled positions. Globalization required multi-language training and exposure of other cultures. Internet facilities facilitates smaller companies to compete with worldwide giants with little investment. Computers are becoming a part of our environment. AI and expert system will help most companies and government agencies in data-driven problem solving beyond the range of today's computer. Demand for knowledge workers will grow, continuously grow. Pace of technology innovation is increasing. Medical knowledge is doubling every 8 years. 50% of what students learn in their freshman year of college is expected to be obsolete revised by their senior years. All of today's technical knowledge will represent only 1% of the knowledge in 2050 after 30 years or 25 years. E-business and internet will reduce cost of doing the business. The increased level of reach and richness among with convergence of the technology expected to increase evolution of technology at a much faster and exponential rate. Framework. The course consists of combination of various skill sets, explaining the theory including illustration, exercises, hands-on, etc. Using a modular approach, divide everything, and now I will go to the diagram, and with the help of diagram, I will try to explain. You see, there are two issues involved. One is the curriculum approval committee. Another is about the accreditation. Now, we pass through roughly, in general, from skill set mapping to courses to develop the modules or programs, and then we go to the accreditation. However, if we bypass the course, eliminate the course concept and just focus on the skill set, and just develop based on the skill set, and then development of the program measures based on the skill set and accreditation. And then this approval also will, if we bypass the courses, then what will happen? Now, if I will go next, note 1. So when I say note 1 is pertaining to this accreditation, note 1 is pertaining, note 2 is about the approval. With the exploration of alteration changes assessment criteria, it will help in expediting the process of making changes in the curriculum and thereby the skill gaps. Issue could be addressed to some extent. The revised proposed process at educational institute could be aligned with the needed change. Number 2, the skill set defined broadly for approval in curriculum committee do not carry prerequisite criteria. Considering the evolution in technology and changing requirements in terms of the depth of knowledge in each skill set or could be acquired by students from external sources or potential employers, the prerequisite criteria need to manage at department and at college level among with adequate check and balances. The instructor should be empowered to assemble various skill sets into the coursework. So if the professors are empowered with proper checks and balances, department and college, then the formal method is only focused on the skill set and how to bundle, let it be there with the professors with the multiple combinations, and those multiple combinations, what we discussed, that suppose the students are going from freshman year to senior year, there will be some fixed criteria for the assessment, and there will be another criteria about each semester wide, we can have some assessment through seminars and service learning and other things, field visits. These things can be bundled into some courses or modules, one after another, so that whatever became obsolete here, whatever they learned here became obsolete here, they can catch up with the seminar and other routes. So whatever they will get in the end of it, they will not be having any missing item or missing skills to that extent, what it is available, it is there in the current scenario, current situation. Okay, now, okay, then I think that is the last slide what I have. Yes. Can I answer any question on all the three of them? I have another 3-4 minutes, friends.